Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 4, breaking the fourth wall. Oh, no, wait, hold on, let me do that.
You gotta chop this motherfucker down.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week of Comics Remixed. Week 4, breaking the fourth wall. I'm Junior Ruiz, alongside my co-host,
David Sanchez.
in español.
¿Dónde disponible?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think YouTube has an SAP button.
They do. They have this.
No way!
They do have the caption.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Through your mind.
So last week we discussed Bumblebee dying. We bashed. Yeah, you tried to defend.
I tried really hard. I was trying to be non-biased to the whole thing, but Fantastic Four
It is what it
gets
is.
no love when
doesn't.
it comes to the big screen. I'm
It
sorry,
doesn't.
guys.
You know, and we talked Hugh Jackman sticking around for one more Wolverine flick. You know.
Which speaking of Part 3, is Ghostbusters 3.
Yes.
Moving forward, that was announced in the beginning of the month,
Mhm.
which was pretty much just a tweet by Dan Aykroyd saying, like, we're moving forward with a script that Ramis would be proud of.
Yeah, and then when they confirmed with the director about it, he said it was true, but he was taking a step back. They're going to look for a new director while he wants to stay on as a producer.
Why do you think he just doesn't have it like without Harold there?
He said, what was it? It's something along the lines of he felt more comfortable being a producer than he was a director.
Yeah.
You know, like he doesn't want to, like, it's one of those things, if you don't feel comfortable as a director, why try to force the movie?
Which that's a good call then.
You know? So
That's
yeah.
a professional call.
Very, very professional. Was it Ivan Reitman, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ivan Reitman, who's done a lot of the classic 80s,
He
late
did
90s
the
movies that we love.
original Ghostbusters.
He did a lot of that. Didn't he do Beverly Hills Cop as well?
Don't remember.
I want to say he did. Yeah, Eddie Murphy, baby. I want to say he did.
I gotta get off this screen because I'm tired of looking at them.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is on our screen right now. It's been here since last week. But speaking of comic movies, yeah, Ghostbusters 3, Wolverine is going to be moving forward. We hit on X-Men, but Marvel and people looking at them, the idea is being thrown around that maybe houses like Marvel should be putting out 4 movies a year. How do you feel about that, Junior?
It's this. Okay, Marvel wants to go ahead and promote new characters, push new properties. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you've got to continue to build on the properties you've already laid down. So with only doing 2 movies a year, you're going to give me 1 sequel a year and 1 new movie a year. At that rate, I don't think they'll push the stuff as quickly as they want to. So in certain situations, I'm almost thinking they're going to have no choice but to put out 3, maybe 4 a year.
It's getting to that already.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Because lately they've been on the whole 2 a year. It's been working. You know, like last year we had Iron Man 3.
It didn't really work. It didn't really work.
Well, I mean, they're
with Thor
scheduling.
2 it worked. Iron Man 3, what was that?
You know, and I like the fact that they're pushing Captain America, which would be released, this week, actually. Captain America. Can't wait.
It looks great. The extended trailer looked fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that Thor came out in November, and November seemed like yesterday.
It
And
did.
we're already getting Cap this week.
did, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
You know, I don't mind it just for the sake of content. You know, I always think that comic writers are some of the best writers out there.
Mhm.
You have someone. They took a guy like Josh Whedon, who's very familiar with our comic book world,
Mhm.
who could keep the stories tied in. He could really grab the reins on this stuff. So if we're gonna get 4 movies, which all tie in, and you're constantly just being kept in suspense every quarter of the year, you're just gonna be in suspense. Like, oh man, I can't wait to see what
Right.
happens now. Then yeah, I think that's great. I
Now-
don't see anything wrong with that. You said you have an issue with oversaturation.
Yeah. Like, we were talking about that off camera. What happens if Marvel ends up giving us too much? With, you know, the quality lesson?
Yeah.
People think it's too much to go to the theater. All these, you know, it's just too much.
I see. It depends on the character.
Okay.
Not every comic book character needs extreme CGI.
Oh, of course.
Take a character. Actually, we were talking about Moon Knight a couple episodes ago. That's pretty much a detective
Mm-hmm.
style movie. Do you need like a crazy amounts of CGI for that? Maybe like some special effects when he throws weapons. You could do some
Costume,
awesome.
obviously.
You could get like Jason Statham to do the whole movie.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be like one of those. It could be a fighter movie.
Marvel,
Oh,
he
yeah,
wrote
we did that.
Locking it down.
Locking
Jason
it down.
Statham.
Yeah, I
Moon
get
Knight.
full credit.
2017. Let's do
Sorry,
it.
Jason Statham.
Let's do it. Let's reenact that scene
I'm
from Crank.
Moon Knight. I was thinking his accent.
Oh.
I'm Moon Knight.
Let's reenact that scene from Crank.
Yeah.
The adrenaline scene in
The
the middle of
adrenaline
the. You know what I'm talking about.
Actually, yeah. Let's get Crank, that whole team, to do Moon Knight.
You know?
With his personalities, that'll work. I could totally see it.
Yeah.
We got it, people. You're welcome.
I'm done.
We're done.
Let's open up.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
I'm back.
So when it comes to quality, as long as they focus on what they're creating,
Mm-hmm.
like the Moon Knight thing we talked about, then there's Thor, where you do need the more epic type of style, the more CGI, the more epic, like panning out. Let's see like this crazy war scene.
Well, do you think maybe they could start planting seeds in the Netflix stuff that they've got coming out?
Yeah,
Because Moon Knight, I look at Moon Knight as more of a street level hero in the terms of like Daredevil and Cage.
Dude,
You know,
if Cage and Daredevil alone play out very well
Mhm.
on Netflix, and really just totally wipe their butts with what the CW's putting out on the small screen, then I'll be far more impressed with future movies, and I'd actually just want 5. I want 6 movies a year. Which, speaking of the small screen,
Mhm.
we were actually just talking about.
we talk about a lot of stuff before we actually begin.
We're talking about the
filming.
casting for Gotham.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff talking about people really want to see the tie-ins with Gotham and the Flash and Arrow, but the Gotham takes a different timeline,
Mhm.
which actually could work out. I kind of don't mind it. It has that setting of those days, and also people that aren't really into comics to
Mhm.
be introduced what this city really is about. How you create a Batman. What goes into creating a Batman? What goes into creating a Penguin? You know?
Mhm.
If anything, that just reminds
More
me
like a
of,
year one story.
Yeah, it reminds me of Chicago, actually.
Here, let me ask you this though. Do you think it's a mistake on Warner Brothers' part to say, okay, we got lucky with Arrow, we're struck gold with it, let's throw Flash, Constantine, and Gotham all out right away?
Yeah.
You think that's a mistake, or they should kind of wait and bide their time?
I don't think it's a mistake at all, especially the way they did Flash, the tie-in,
Mm-hmm.
how they're going to explain that, how there's more metahumans now because of that
Yeah.
explosion and stuff like that. If they do it like that, I think they're fine.
Okay.
I think they're fine. Plus, Constantine should exist already.
Yeah.
They have stuff like
That's what I think about
Supernatural. They have the vampire stuff. Actually, I'm just looking at stuff that's not DC related that CW has.
Mhm.
It's like, how the hell did Marvel lose it with Blade? Was that Marvel's fault, or
That was New Line Cinema.
is that new? Who officially owns Blade right now?
Marvel. It's back to Marvel.
It's back to Marvel now.
Mhm.
So why not bring back Blade?
They might. You never know.
Why not have them in direct competition in a time slot that goes against stuff like Supernatural and Arrow?
Yeah. Well, who knows? They tried it once. Remember Spike TV when Sticky Fingers was Blade?
But see, that's what I'm talking about. They messed that up. That was
Right,
horrible.
okay, yeah.
That was really bad.
That was bad because I was waiting to just be like, I'm a slam that vampire's face into the ground. Let the boys be boys.
Like with college drinking, they're just dancing for 40 minutes. You know?
Like, just wait, something's gonna happen.
Yeah. If anything, Marvel has done a great job by the fact that they're going into something like Netflix where they could bypass having to be so PG-13. They could probably get away with a lot more being on Netflix because
They could push
streaming is the new cable.
Yeah. They could push, I think, the PG-13 to where it's right just under rated R.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, but
Yeah.
they have the option. Because what? It's PG-13. In a PG-13 movie, you're allowed to drop one F-bomb.
Something like that. Yeah.
You know? Obviously, Marvel won't take that route, but...
That being said, what's even the point of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I believe it's, like, to accentuate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, it'll add to it. It's just... It's not what people expected it to be, so that's why it's getting so bashed. But you remember, it's about the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not just S.H.I.E.L.D. itself.
I get that. Okay, no. I get that. We talked about this before. But when you're talking about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and right off the bat, you start off saying, oh, but we're going to be tying it into the universe, and they start throwing in a bunch of things about Thor, and wait like a year later, actually a whole nother season, to finally introduce characters from Thor.
It's still the first season.
That's a bad call. Is it still? Oh my god! I feel like this thing is dragging.
It's still the first season.
I'm sorry, well, this thing is
premiered
dragging.
in September.
When I compare it to all the episodes I watched of Arrow, if this is still the first season, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just dragging. It is. And I deem it completely unnecessary. They should just take it out, take Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. off the small screen and put it on cable.
Okay.
Or put it on Netflix.
Okay.
They should just do that, man. They're agents, man. They should be.
See, I wish I had more of an
They
argument for this because I was watching it. I got up to like the first 7-8 episodes, and then they went like on a 2-week hiatus.
Yeah.
And they came back, and I didn't catch that episode when they came back. And then I was like, all right, I got to catch that. And then
okay.
The next one came. And
like,
I didn't
come at
catch
me.
the
Come at me
previous
as a
one,
new
so
viewer. As a new viewer, what have you absorbed from Agents
from
of
what
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I've seen? See, like I said, I've only seen a few of them.
That's fine. That's fine. What have you absorbed anything? Do you feel like you wasted your time? Like,
not at all. I'm actually waiting for the DVD release or a Netflix release of it so I can catch up. I want to watch it. I want to see what happens. You know,
well,
I believe in Whedon we trust. In Whedon we trust, man.
That's fine. But
I believe
he's not like direct.
he's a
writing,
producer.
But he's not directly writing.
No, I understand
either.
that. But I believe there's Marvel movies have not let me down, with the exception of Iron Man 3, and even that was just, you know.
So how does this happen? How do these companies have these weak points where DC, for so many years, have had great animations,
Brian and I just discussed
and their
this.
movies are
Let's
horrible, and Marvel is doing these great movies. They have these great ideas for streaming, and they can't do a show. Like, their show is just dragging butt.
Yeah.
What is happening there? Where is this, like a management thing? Like who's in charge of the TV network? Who's in charge of the movie guys? Like, what's happening there?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it's practically the same people. I mean, you said in Josh Whedon we trust. I'm like, well, he's not writing it though.
Right.
So I don't
but
trust.
He is
it.
overseeing it, so you'd think it'd be a little bit better.
Okay,
I don't know.
He's
That's a good
overseen
question.
a lot of projects.
Yeah, that's true.
And when it comes to movies is the bigger investment.
Oh yeah.
TV, you make your money back because of the commercials.
Yeah.
Okay. It has to be a good movie because you're only gonna get your money back from merchandising, from those toys.
We keep it real on this show.
Who's it?
I'd call you back, man. I'm filming right now. Less than this emergency.
Boom.
All right, continuing.
That call was completely unimportant. Junior, you're a horrible person for answering that phone.
No, I'm not.
No, actually, you're a horrible person for farting.
You've killed me plenty of times in the car.
But you were just talking about Brian. Speaking of Brian and flatulence, no one can top that guy. Brian, we love you, man. So yeah, I hope this. Do you think it's maybe just too much to handle? For one guy to handle? And even then, when you start developing your baby, like you create this whole movie franchise, how hard is it to let go of that baby and give off more responsibility?
You know what I think? I think you need a brain trust. You know, like, okay, we'll put Whedon at the top of the pyramid, but he needs to hand select a specific team. You know, have these maybe once a week meetings or something, and go over certain things and make sure everything is connecting and there's enough excitement in there, enough intrigue, enough mystery, everything to just kind of keep the viewer coming for more. Obviously, with a show like S.H.I.E.L.D., they're not limited to, you know, a 90-minute movie to tell your entire story. You can break it up over 20-something episodes, which I think a lot of people have become accustomed to with the Marvel movies. Since they're so in your face, we give you everything in this short amount of time, they expect it with every episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. Where
Not
you
really.
can break it down and just kind of have it play over the season.
When I see an episode like S.H.I.E.L.D., I think about like X-Files or Fringe, you know, and how much better those are. But okay.
So what's the problem with
these,
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
all these,
what's the issue with S.H.I.E.L.D.? What is it that?
the plot holes for one thing.
Okay.
The George Lucas style of it. There's that bad humor, or where there's tries to be humor, or characters that really don't have to be there.
Okay.
Kind of like that Luke Cage, the guys from the beginning, who turned out to be just like that.
The fire guy or whatever.
Yeah, because they try to tie in Iron Man 3
Yeah.
of all the movies to tie in.
Because it was the one that was out.
And just now, they're saying, okay, let's just throw in Lady Syf, which they actually got their best ratings.
Yeah.
Out of Lady Syf.
You hear that, Warner Brothers? Just saying.
And it's just finally
Wonder Woman.
And this is not even a fan thing. This is not me even hating. Like their ratings have been horrible. Mm-hmm. They've been plummeting. Okay. That being said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being horrible, Warner Brothers just barely getting better at making movies. Give me your top 5 Marvel, your top 5 DC that should come out.
That should come out?
Like what do you what do you want to see? What do you want to see?
Oh man.
We can bounce back. You hit one, I'll do the other.
All right. Marvel. I would like to see a Doctor Strange movie.
Which is already coming out.
It hasn't been 100% confirmed.
Okay. Now everybody's really going strong with Johnny Depp for the sake of his appearance and age. I personally, I'm still...
Let's cut it down to 3.
I still want to see a younger Doctor Strange. And I would say on that, and I've already dropped this one down, there needs to be a good Black Panther movie.
Of course. I totally have to agree with that. Movie. Another Marvel movie I'd like to see is...
Alba.
Huh?
I always forget his name.
Idris
Elba.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I remember back like 10 years ago, we'd be like, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
No more. I would like to see, believe it or not, I want to still see that damn Deadpool movie.
No.
He's just for the shits and giggles.
I think he would just be cool as a tie-in supportive character. Like he just shows up in a movie at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I could see him making an appearance right there just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Be the next Wolverine movie coming up, but too bad that's not really on Marvel.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to shoot this one in because I think we need this point of view. We need this perspective, especially for the mainstream audience. It would be incredibly entertaining to do a solo Doctor Doom movie. That perspective is needed.
Yeah.
It is needed.
Yeah.
There
was talks about doing a solo Magneto movie, but I would rather see a Doctor Doom.
He's over because you already know his story.
Yeah.
His origin. In every movie that Magneto has been in, there's a flashback.
Yeah.
So you get it, and it's kind of becoming a classic villain story. Something horrible happened to him, therefore he became this. But Doctor Doom, though, he has some psychological issues with his mom. He has the whole science thing going on.
The whole black magic.
The fusion of magic thing going on. He rules a country, so there's actually social political issues that go on.
And even the people in the country look at him as like one of the greatest things. Like they don't consider him a dictator.
No.
Like Doom takes care of us.
He does. He's
the rest of the world sees him as you're enslaving these people. He's like, no, they're free to do what they want.
No, in his mind, he is a conqueror by right.
Yeah.
You know, he built himself to be that. And on top of that, this guy could take down Galactus.
Yeah. I think we should skip the DC stuff because saying what DC movies we'd like to see, that should be on the screen. I mean, it always comes down to the obvious choices.
Hell, you know what?
The ones that
I want to see a Moon Knight movie now. I want to see a Moon Knight movie now, man.
I was thinking about that.
I just keep playing like you know how Jason Statham he coordinates like these fight scenes.
Yeah.
And then in the DVD you get like the extended fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I imagine this movie now. I'm sorry.
But with DC, like I said, I think it's something that we all want to see. Wonder Woman, a proper Superman, a proper Batman, a proper Justice League, a proper Green Lantern. So we could try to just kind of skip all that
DC,
stuff.
I think that they've always had gold like in their side characters.
Yeah. But if they can't get their main characters on screen properly, why get a side character?
That's true. But I think the reason that they've been able to get away with so much now has been because they've introduced this whole new perspective of the good guys being villains, and they're using their scapegoat, the different Earths, which supposedly were supposed to go away with the New 52, but it turns out that the different Earths, that the multiverse has actually have come to the rescue of DC.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's all we got time for today, ladies and gentlemen. For everything, Moon Knight, he wrote that. But as always, you can catch everything we do. Contact us, the whole 9 yards. ComicsRemix.com, the hub for everything we do. Thank you for watching. Let us know, as always, how we're doing. If you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, of course, hit us up. Let us know what you thought about this and every other thing we did. Till next week, I'm Junior.
And I'm David.
And we'll see you guys.
Have
Thanks
a good
for
night.
watching.